Before we start, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you for getting me to 100 subscribers. Literally just 9 days ago, I was getting excited for the 75 subscribers, but we're already up to 100. And it's crazy that I'm already at 103 while making the video. Like, I literally just seen it right now while looking at my phone. But this wouldn't be possible without all of you. And most of my traffic comes from one of the first videos I did, which was the GothBoi Prince Federico Gondola case. If you haven't seen it yet, then go check it out. But I'm pretty sure that most of you have already seen it if you're on my channel. So today, I decided to do another GothBoi Prince video, you know, just to see how it does compared to the other one, and maybe people coming from that video would enjoy this video. So without further ado, hopefully y'all enjoy. Thank you. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be doing another reaction to one of my favorite channels, and the channel favorite, GothBoi Prince. This is going to be the infamous case of Lonnie Franklin Jr. I googled his name before recording this, and it says he was called the Grim Sleeper. That's honestly a pretty dope name, but we're going to get into it to see exactly what he did. So let's go. I like this intro.
Haunted the city for a quarter century. A serial killer who allegedly preyed on the weak.
Women from South Central LA. The murderer was nicknamed the Grim Sleeper because he was dormant for 14 years until 2002 when he started to murder again.
The day after the LAPD released these photos, they started getting phone calls, hundreds of phone calls. Several of those callers say they saw their own photo in the collection.
Since 1985, a murderer has roamed the streets of South Los Angeles. He's taken the lives of 11 people.
After a 14-year break, the Grim Sleeper awoke to kill 3 women in 2002, 2003, and 2007.
That this Grim Sleeper, as he's known, who was quiet, it seems, for 14 years, may not have been quiet for those years?
I don't believe for a minute he was quiet. He was right here, lived in the same place.
You think he kept on killing?
Yes, I'd like to report a murder or a dead body or something.
Correct.
The address is 1346 East 56th Street in the alley. And the only thing you can see out is her feet.
How many victims did he have? That is so many pictures.
Huh?
What's your name?
Oh, I don't stand the nonsense. I know too many people. Okay, then, bye-bye.
Was that him on the phone? Or he said, like, I know too many people. Bye-bye. I want to hear it one more time.
I know too many people. Okay, then, bye-bye.
That was a little creepy.
In the early 80s, South Central LA, police would notice a string of murders reoccurring yearly, consisting of African American women. The women would either be shot by a .25 caliber handgun, strangled to death, or death due to a result of fatal blunt force. The bodies would then be discarded throughout alleys with garbage piled on top of them. This style of homicide would eventually dub the attacker as the South Side Slayer. Little did detectives know they couldn't have been more wrong. It wasn't until 1985 where this mysterious killer would attack yet again. But this time, the victim was able to escape. 26-year-old Henrietta Margaret was able to escape her attacker and report the crime to LAPD. She was able to give an elaborate description of the man and his car, which seemed to have momentarily scared him off.
Alright, that's a good thing, cause I don't know, like if I were to think about him, I would think he's like all masked up and stuff. It's a good thing that she saw his face and everything in his car and stuff. Cause if she wasn't, if she literally just saw eyes, if he had like a mask on, that would make it like 100 times harder.
The Southside Slayer would eventually be arrested in 1993.
Hold on, wait. I don't see it. Like, even like the hairline, like I understand it's like a drawing of what she described him as, but Eyebrows, no. Oh shit. Eyes, maybe. Nose. Not really. No. I don't see it, but it's probably just a bad picture of him, you know.
His name was Michael Hubert. He was responsible for the death of 6 women and 1 child. But police would soon realize they were dealing with a different serial killer, as the DNA found would be an exact match to an unknown man. In 2001 through 2003, 3 more women would be found dead in alleys due to a .25 caliber handgun or...
Wait, so it wasn't that guy. It wasn't Michael Hubert Hughes. I don't think, at least.
asphyxiation. Fortunately, modern technology and forensic science would soon be introduced and eventually reveal important pieces of evidence. Familial DNA is the process of searching through the FBI's original DNA database to detect and list potential candidates who may be biological relatives to the unknown DNA presented. The DNA found on all the women would come back as a partial match to a man named Christopher Franklin, whom was charged with the use of a deadly weapon years prior. Detectives knew Christopher couldn't be responsible for the murders, as he would have been too young to commit such acts during those early time periods. Detectives' next potential suspect was Christopher's father, Lonnie Franklin, a mechanic and sanitation worker whom also lived in South Central. All police needed to do was get a sample of Lonnie's DNA, but how?
His blood.
After trailing Lonnie for hours on end, police would follow him into a restaurant where they would then retrieve a discarded pizza belonging to him. They were able to confirm an exact match, and he was taken into custody and questioned by 2 senior detectives.
They can get DNA from food? Like pizza? I thought like all the stuff in the pizza would like mess up all the chemical composition. I don't know. That's crazy. Even back then you could get a human's DNA off of food. That's crazy.
Police
I never
were
knew
instantly granted a search warrant and began to search his residence, where they would then make a startling discovery.
So before we get into it, I know I can see right by your expression you got a lot of questions to ask us. And, we got a couple to ask you too. Okay. I'm sure you've seen this on TV 1,000 times. I've got to advise you, and then we'll talk about it man to man here. And okay. That okay? Mm-hmm. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that?
Yes.
In the beginning of this interrogation, Lonnie is seated in the corner, most likely a strategic ruse calculated by the detectives to induce a sense of entrapment.
Yeah, you don't know where
It's
to go.
also worth noting Lonnie's kinesics, as we're given in hindsight. The person before your very eyes were one of FBI's most prolific serial killers in the early 80s. So, understanding his relaxed demeanor throughout this entire incrimination can serve as purpose and be used as reference in other similar situations.
So, do you want to sit here and talk about the warrant?
Yes.
And what the charges are against you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. We have been investigating a murder that occurred in 2007.
I didn't even notice this guy on bottom.
Okay. And it involves a young lady. And I'm going to ask you, show you a photograph of this young lady and see if you recognize her.
I bet that's so chilling, seeing the person that you killed in front of the police like that. You gotta compose yourself so much.
You've never seen that girl before?
No, I haven't.
Who is that? Is that Peters?
Yes.
All right.
Shot in the back and strangled to death. Body found in the trash bag. That is so sad.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Like I said, we've been investigating this since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not down here. We didn't just pick your name out of a hat. I mean, you watch all these little police shows and CSIs and all that stuff with modern technologies and all that.
Right.
Okay, well, you've been identified to this young lady. Okay, do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that? Why would you be identified?
I don't know. I don't know. I know a lot of people, but I don't know her.
Okay.
Damn it! It was the guy in the beginning, because remember in the phone call earlier in the video, where he said I know a lot of people, and then he said something else. That's exactly what he said right now.
A crucial step in the interrogation, but detectives skip report developments as they believe they have overwhelming evidence at hand. Another noteworthy moment was Lonnie's last sentence. As voice recognition is a growing industry used in forensic science, Lonnie's last statement, when played next to the 911 call pertaining the death of a woman, under analysis can show clear resemblance and can be used in court as further evidence.
I don't know. I know a lot of people, but I don't know her.
I know too many people.
I don't know. I know a lot of people, but I don't know her.
I know too many people.
Okay, in 2003.
What did I say?
This young lady was found killed. Have you ever seen her?
No, I haven't.
Valerie McCorvey was strangled and found with her pants pulled down at alley, July 11, 2003.
You don't know that lady?
No, I don't.
You've never seen her?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Mr. Franklin, just like the other one, your DNA was found on this young lady.
Okay.
Is there a way to explain that?
No, it's not.
There's no
I don't know this. I don't know this lady. Sorry.
That's Valerie McCorvey.
Okay.
2002, this young lady was found. Do you recognize her?
No, I don't.
Princess.
I don't.
You've never seen her before?
She was just 18.
No.
Mr. Franklin, we're both old guys.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, and you know, I'm ready to answer questions of you.
Right.
I'm being upfront with you, and by you telling me that you don't know these people or hadn't know any way that your DNA got on their bodies,
No.
you're insulting my intelligence.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
This young lady, Alicia Alexander.
Found dead September 11, 19. Oh, this is one of the first ones, I think. This was in 1988. Damn.
Was found. And again,
My DNA
it's all linked to you. Now, Mr. Franklin, I mean, you watch these shows. You tell me once, you know, maybe you met the gal and you had a little relationship with her and she turns up dead. You know, maybe a coincidence. I just showed you
4 people.
4 people. I mean, your coincidences are getting pretty slim. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir.
I mean, what do you? I mean, do you have anything to say? I mean,
No, I don't. I don't know the people. I'm sorry.
I mean, how would your DNA get there? What logical reason?
I have no clue. No clue. I mean, I have no clue how my DNA would get there.
As detectives proceed with a forward and factual approach, Lonnie's demeanor has yet to change, nor does he provide an explanation for how his DNA could be present at each crime scene.
This young lady, Lucretia Jefferson.
No. I don't know her.
Again.
Was shot through the heart and found under a mattress. Oh, this was even before that. This was, excuse me. This was January 30th, 1988. Damn. I don't want to say that last part.
Coincidence?
My DNA. I have no idea.
Let me ask you something. Do you know what DNA is?
Yes, the blood, saliva, anything, any body fluids that make contact.
Okay, and it's like a fingerprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only one person has that DNA.
Okay, so you understand it probably better than I do.
I understand, but I don't know these people. So,
okay.
yeah, you got 5 or 6 people here, and I
So
don't know.
far, so far.
Yeah.
From me,
Yeah, you know.
Are you, you go to church?
Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be at church tonight.
Detectives now try and correlate two locations pertaining a 911 call where a male would report a dead body and a vehicle that was involved.
Yes, I'd like to report
That's his voice.
a murder or a dead body or something.
Where at?
The address is 1346 East 56th Street in the alley. You know, he threw her out. The only thing that's hanging out of this, like he threw a gas tank on top of her, and the only thing you can see out is her feet.
Okay, what's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
I know too many people.
I'm saying anonymous. I know too many people. Okay then, bye-bye. 1PZP74.
That vehicle was later found in front of a church.
Did you used to have access to drive their van?
No, I didn't.
Did you know people that went there?
No, I don't.
You're not that far from 60th and Normandy from where you're living.
Yeah, it's around the corner from the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's not familiar to you, the Cosmopolitan Church.
No, it's not.
Okay. Personally, I'm very impressed at your knowledge of the DNA, that it's saliva and blood, and it's only connects to one person in the world. And I mean, even your kids don't have your DNA. You know, they might have your blood type or something, but they don't have your DNA. That's just like they don't have your thumbprint. It's only Mr. Lonnie Franklin that has the DNA makeup that's found on those young ladies right there.
This is partially true. DNA is passed down in huge chunks of chromosomes, which each offspring receives 50% of their parents' DNA. In this case, this is entirely true, as Lonnie was traced through his son's DNA, being an 89% biological match.
Here, Mary Lowe was her name.
Oh, this is 1987. Wait, when did he start? Was shot in the chest and beaten. Her body was found behind a large shrub with their parents. Oh. 1987.
No, I don't know her. She looked like a girl lived in Rialto, one of my wife's friends. But her name is I can't get it right now. Her name is...
Yeah, because you're too stressed. You can't think.
A few weeks ago. I can't let it come to me. But I don't know her.
Okay.
But she was favored the same
His head over here.
facials.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's another one. This young lady here, her name is Bernita Sparks.
Even before that, was shot once in the chest and found in the trash bin with her and one shoe missing. April 15th, 1987. So I guess they're going farther and farther back.
Wow, she looked heavy set.
Why would you say that?
No, I just said she looked fat. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay. You ever own any weapons?
Detectives now inquire further into the weapons Lonnie may have had possession of. As Lonnie recounts all of the weapons he had throughout the years, he fails to recall an important weapon found in his house. The same caliber weapon used in each murder.
What was it?
So that's all the handguns you own?
That's it.
Was it a 40?
You don't own any more handguns?
No more.
What about that 25 caliber there in your closet?
25 caliber. What is it, a rifle?
No.
25 caliber.
That's what a liar does. He's trying to remember. He's like, 25 caliber. It was a shotgun, right? Not a pistol. Definitely not a pistol. It was a 25 caliber rocket launcher. He's trying to do everything but say it was a handgun.
It's a 25 caliber. A pistol.
Oh, there we go. I thought he was going to say it.
That's not mine.
It's not?
No, that's my brother-in-law's. Delroy Lino. He has two. I have two things of his. He got evicted. We just picked up his stuff last week.
Detectives refrained from seeking a confession for the firearm and continued to reveal the women that have been found linked to his DNA.
This young lady
Damn,
here.
there's more? Wait, how many was there? Like, for real, for real?
Name is Barbara Ware.
Even before that. Found dead January 10th, 1987, 1300 block of East 56th Street, Central Alameda area.
Never saw her before. No, nothing about it.
Nothing about it. Sorry, I don't.
Again, you know, it's like I told you earlier. I mean, I'm really feeling insulted here because all of these people, it's like I told you earlier. I mean, come on, we're grown men here. I'm not playing games with you. I'm laying my cards right here on the table, just like this. I'm laying my cards right here. I'm telling you. Maybe one, I'd say, okay. Two, I wouldn't be going to Vegas if I were you, because your luck isn't that good. But look at all of these. Straight up.
I understand that.
This young lady, her name is Henrietta Wright.
Was shot twice in the chest and found in an alley under a green blanket, August 12th, 1986.
Go ahead, take a close look.
Is that 9 or 10?
No recollection at all.
No recollection, or you just don't know?
I don't know her. But ugly, I don't know her. So,
what?
You just called her ugly?
But ugly, I don't know her.
That's fucked up.
I don't know her.
As it's
like, even if you didn't know her, like, she's deceased, so why would you call her that? And you called the other one heavyset. Like, fuck.
Seems the interrogation is going nowhere. The detective on the left interjects with a more empathetic approach, hoping that Lonnie will crack and show any type of consciousness, thus leading to a confession.
What do you think it would feel like to have your little girl murdered, dumped in an alley, and not know how that came to be for 25 years, but somebody left their DNA signature, like their thumbprint, on my little girl. 25 years over a number of these, for 25 years, all the way up until recently, just a couple of years ago. That person continues to leave their DNA thumbprint on all these young ladies who had a life, had families. They may have been out working, they may have had some drug problems, whatever, but they still have loved ones. And that's your little girl. That's your little girl out there, and some guy that's got a problem, he keeps picking them up, having his way with them, killing them, dumping them in alleys like they're trash, but he's leaving his mark. He's leaving his... It's like a dog pissing on a fire hydrant. That's you. You're leaving your mark every single time you do this. Well, now,
that's a good
the science has caught up with you. Mr. Franklin, your signature is on every one of these young ladies. There's no denying that. There's no getting out of it. You need to man up and start talking to us what in God's name caused this to happen, caused Mr. Lonnie Franklin, when he's not working on a car, when he's not with his wife and children, when he's not driving the trash truck or fixing a police car in a garage somewhere, why he's out creeping at night and he can't control himself, or he just whatever. But how did this happen? These families, just like you would want to know if something happened.
At night, man.
We'll talk about that in just a second.
This is a very peculiar statement made by Lonnie. As the detective tries to understand Lonnie's situation, it took approximately 13 seconds to reciprocate and refute a minuscule allegation. Through the course of this interrogation, this was one moment Lonnie verbalized a bit more emotion through his intonation when denying this accusation.
Another one. What?
This young lady.
Is that the first
Deborah
one?
Jackson.
Deborah Jackson, cocktail waitress, found with 3 gunshot wounds to the chest. Found days later in alley in 1985.
There's my cards. There's my deck right there.
Whew. That's 10 on the
I
table
think
right
my
there.
hand's a lot better than yours right now.
I feel like he has more.
Your bluff ain't cutting it. You a poker player?
No, I'm poker.
Good, because I wouldn't be gambling with this either if I were you.
Billboards up on Western Avenue with the reward and all the faces, these faces.
Right here.
Yeah, look at
Oh,
it.
you've seen the billboard. There's one right at 91st and Western.
If you haven't seen the news,
Was that the one
In Western.
that survived? That, what's it called? That gave the police that sketch? I'm guessing this is the one. Maybe? Yeah, I think they said 1988. But damn, that's 12 right there.
if you haven't seen the news over the last several years, you know what the news calls you? You tell me what the news calls you.
The Grim Sleeper.
I know damn well you know. I mean, you watch the news at night, you watch TV
I
on
heard him talk
occasion.
about some guy on the news.
What do they call him?
What was it? The Reaper?
The what?
The Reaper? Grand Reaper? Something like
The Grim Sleeper.
Oh, okay. I know it's something like that.
Yeah.
This was a perfectly placed question made exactly for a serial killer. There's a stereotype pertaining around serial killers being extremely narcissistic and taking great amount of pride into their doings. In this case, this may be partially true, as Lonnie is quite aware of his nickname and even has a little chuckle after.
Yeah, I saw it on TV. I look at TV.
Well, of course you do.
Yeah, I got
Of course
TV
you
in
do.
every room.
Well, there you go. All right.
There it is. And I'm
So,
sure
and
you've
here we
seen
are,
all
sitting
those.
here. Paul and Dennis are sitting here having a chat with the Grim Sleeper, and that is Mr. Lonnie David Franklin Jr.
It's not me, my man. Sorry, it's not me.
Okay, then you
Then
tell me.
explain
You
it.
tell me how all of your DNA got on every one of these gals.
I have no way. I have not a clue.
Well,
I
I know
I
you
haven't
don't.
been with these girls.
Well,
I don't know how my DNA got there.
Well, you're laughing. I mean, this is not a funny.
No, it's,
this
well,
was
when you
not-
tell me something like that, it's, I wasn't with them.
Okay, well then, how did your DNA juice get on these bodies?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is your problem. And I guarantee you, Lonnie, we're going to do everything in our power that you never see the light of day outside of a prison again.
Yeah, he's getting... Wait, I'm pretty sure he got the death sentence, or the death penalty, if that's, what's it called? If that was still legal in his state. Because 12 bodies, at least, that's what was on the paper. 12 bodies? Like, that they found. Like, keep in mind, there could be other ones that no one ever found about, that no one ever heard about, or that no one connected to him. But 12 bodies that they found.
You understand that?
I understand that. But I had nothing to do
I mean,
with
you're
the
not going to see Crystal unless you're talking to her through plexiglass windows. You're not going to see Sylvia. You're not going to see...
You've worked on your last car. What happens to Mr. Lonnie Franklin to cause this to happen? What goes on?
It looks like he's breathing pretty hard, but I don't know.
I mean, are you two different people or something? I mean, is there another little side of Lonnie Franklin that we're unaware of? That snaps in the middle of the night every couple of years, he goes out and kills somebody?
I haven't killed anybody, so I'm not even tripping on that.
So I'm not even tripping on it.
One of these gals has survived.
On the table?
And she's gonna have a grand time sitting in a courtroom looking down at a man that did her some terrible things years ago.
Damn.
Here are a few stories from the survivors whom lived to tell the tale. If you would like to proceed with the case.
Alright, so just so y'all know, it's going to be about 10 minutes video time. Like, we're at 24:20 right now. It's most likely going to be gruesome, I would think. So if you want to, just skip ahead.
So what's your name?
Cookie.
And how long have you been on the street?
Since I was 18.
And how long did you meet Lonnie?
6 to 7 months.
You were with him?
Yes.
10 times or more?
Yeah, maybe more. Yeah, I have been with him more sexually.
Why did you go with him so many times?
Because he paid me.
I was about to say the money.
Well, I was prostituting real, heavy then. So it was about the money.
And he asked me why would a pretty girl like me being out there smoking, did I want to go with him? So I walked with him, and we got in his car, and he took me to his house.
The man, his house was nasty.
Where would he take you?
In his garage. He never wanted to go in the bedroom, And he had pictures of a lot of girls and stuff.
I wonder if he kept pictures of girls that he already killed. Like, kind of as a trophy, like GothBoi Prince is saying, how most of these serial killers are narcissists. I wonder if he just kept a folder or even just frames of the girls that he was with. Like, just thinking about that would be crazy.
Crossed out. He used to have him crossed out.
He was weird because we had he wanted to do different things. He wanted to do stupid stuff.
Damn.
It was normal at first.
You can see the pain in her eyes.
He started doing weird things, asked me to do weird, sexual things with bottles, and he would ask me to just take a regular, like a 40-ounce bottle, actually.
Bro.
And stick it in my pussy, and I wouldn't do it. After he didn't play with himself with it or something like that. Or pay me to go get other girls and stuff, After that, I never seen them girls again or heard from them,
How many?
I brought him maybe 4 of them. He paid me, but I never seen him again after that.
Did police ever talk to you?
No, I never talked to the police. No.
He took me to his house on Western and 81st. At the time, I believe the house was green.
Green?
Yes. The house was green. I remember that everything in it was soundproof. No one can hear you outside.
He wanted to put the handcuffs on me. He wanted to put the handcuffs one against the bed. Had me.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one of my. Okay, let me say this first. I don't trust no girls. I'm not gonna lie. So one of my worst fears, not worst fears, one thing I would never let a girl do is handcuff me to the bed, bro. Unless I trust you 99%, fuck that. That's scary shit. If you're handcuffed, she could rob you, she can kill you, she could you know what I'm talking about, set you up, anything, bro. You never know.
Yeah, and it scared me. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm scared too.
I was scared. Yes, I was. It was one door that he had locked from the inside, and I never
tried to help him out of his pants, but I couldn't.
You couldn't?
I couldn't.
You're stuck?
It was like picking up an egg. And his body it was like he had been in a freezer. His body was cold. Part of his body, it was cold. And nothing was happening. I couldn't help him.
He got out the van and got to I guess he picked my clothes. I guess it was when he was taking my clothes where I couldn't put them back on. During the process of him getting out the van, he left the van door cracked a little bit. I took off running down the street.
I ran halfway down the block, butt naked, and this lady I was screaming, asking her for help. She let me in the car and she dropped me off at a friend's house.
I keep Visine on me because it puts people to sleep. It really works.
For real?
I keep Visine, and so I had some Visine, and I had him get a drink. I had him go get a Remy. I remember I had him go get a Remy, and I put him to sleep. I didn't insult him. I didn't insult him.
The Grim Sleeper.
Yes, I didn't belittle him. You know, I didn't mock his body. And then you want to kill me, and I didn't do that. I didn't try to rob you. I didn't set you up. I didn't do any of that. Yeah, I was out there. That doesn't mean I'm nothing. It doesn't mean I'm nothing. Like I'm a piece of trash. I was trapped. I was trapped. That's not what I wanted. That's not the life I wanted.
I'm from Louisiana, and I've been out here since I was 7. One night, I was going to my mother-in-law's house on 64th and Central to a tug-of-war party. So I left my house about at 9. I just had twins, 1986. And I told my old man to watch the kids. I left the money with him, but I had a little money in my pocket. So the bus was taking so long. So I'm like, by the time I get to the tug-of-war party, it's gonna be over with. So the dude was coming down the street in a yellow Pinto, and he was driving real slow, a black brother. So I'm like, oh, shoot. He said, you want to ride? I said, yes, I will take a ride, sir. And he said, I just got off work. So he opened up the door to let me in. He was nice to me at first when I got in the car. Next thing I know, we hit 108. He hit the corner so fast. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He like, well, don't worry about what I'm doing, because when I get over here, you gonna find out what I'm doing. I said, sir, I'm not out to try to make no money. All I want to do is get to the tug-of-war party. He said, oh no, you ain't going nowhere. And he got the screwdriver out the glove department. He was shaking. He said, when I open up this door, you get out and you get butt naked. By the time I got out the door, she was laying right down the side of the car. By the door where I walked out on my side, the trash bins, 2 trash bins was sitting right behind me. And I'm like, what are you finna do to me? Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, oh Lord, I done messed up. So I said, oh Lord.
Yeah, she took off.
I don't know what to do. I said, I just hope he just break me and just let me go, you know. I hope he don't kill me. He was in his trunk digging for something. And I was sitting on the seat on the passenger side, taking my clothes off, waiting to lay down on the sheet. And when he came out the trunk, that's when the dude was walking down the street, making a noise saying, I got it. I remember that word. And I'm like, he got what? And I looked, I'm like, help! Excuse me, sir, could you help me? And I got to screaming and hollering. When I got to screaming and hollering, he dropped the screwdriver. Then that's when I started running. I had one pants leg out. When I started running, girl, he came right in his car, right behind me. He was chasing me, and I was scared. I was hitting all kinds of corners and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm hollering, I'm screaming with half of clothes on, and I made it to my house. And I'm like, this man know where I live at. He gonna come back and get me. So I went to the house authorities to tell them about it.
Well, let me see.
Man, know where I live at. He gonna come back and get me. So I went to the.
All right. Let's see. All right, yeah, the eyes. I see the eyes with the little underbag, whatever you call it. The eyebrows, how they're kind of light. These are light eyebrows, yeah. The hairline, yeah, I see like how it's like pushed back a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. The laugh lines, whatever you call them. Yeah, this is way better. I mean, this is way better match than the first one. What was his name? Hughes. I forgot his name, but Hughes. This is a way better match.
The house authorities to tell him about it. He was on a billboard. They said, girl, you know what? You ran into that man that's out killing all these black women, supposed to be prostitutes.
What stopped you from going to the police?
It was too late, probably, I think. I thought they said after 24 hours you can't complain or tell nobody about nothing.
That's
I've been
crazy.
through a lot of stuff before then, but not like this, you know, but not like that. But, just open containers, going back and forth to jail. I never told them nothing about it, So when I found out he got caught, I look at him on TV, I just said, he's in God's hand now. You know, God gonna take care of him now, because it's too late for me to tell my story. This was in 1986. And I look at it and I go back there and look at that trash bins back there and look down on the ground and just think about what could have happened to me that night.
You know, these girls, they can't talk, but we got one that can.
Well, they talk. They talk through the evidence that points at you.
That was a good line.
Lonnie.
Yes, sir.
You're 50, what, you'll be 58 next month, right?
Correct.
You know, like I say, you're not going to be getting out. I mean, now is the time to sit there so that at least us, in the twilight of our careers, can go back to these family members with an explanation. Don't you think they're owed that? Wouldn't you be owed that if someone was showing a picture of Crystal?
Yes.
And I know that you have a conscience, and you have a soul, and you inside have a problem, and that problem has caused all of these tragedies to happen. But along the way, you left your mark, and I'm sure that wasn't by design that you left your mark. But like I said earlier, science in 2010 has caught up with something that you did in 1985, 1986, 1987, 1988, 2002, 2003, 2007. All of these years that have gone by finally as probably a blessing to you, science has finally stopped what Lonnie Franklin inside can't control. And that's what brought us to today. And I know that you're an intelligent man, that you have a conscience, that you have a soul inside, and that I think you want to tell us. You want to tell these family members of these young ladies that can't talk anymore that you're sorry and that you just you don't know how this happened, but I don't know. You gotta open up and tell us. I mean, it's we don't have all of the answers yet, but we're working on it.
I wonder if he's gonna admit. Like, just reading him, I feel like he wouldn't admit. But let's see.
I don't know what else to say.
It's all going through his head right now, man. He's just looking at his future, thinking of his past and what has he done.
Well, he guesses he wants an attorney now, so.
That's what I figured.
Okay, Lonnie, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be arrested for murder. You have 10 counts of murder filed against you.
Damn.
Along with an attempt murder on the young lady that was survived. You're going to be taken down to the court. You'll be arraigned tomorrow. And then just stand by.
When they book you this afternoon, there's a search warrant going on at your house right now. There's police, people, a lot of different people searching your home right now. And it also added on the search warrant is some things from your body. They're going to take a little blood from you. They're going to take a swab from your mouth, and that's by order of the court. So as on the booking process, that's going to take place as well. Okay? So that's all. We respect your request to have an attorney, and that's that. So any questions?
No questions.
All right.
Put your hands behind your back.
Why did all of this happen? Why did you do all of these things? All of these women were defenseless. They were not a threat to you in any way, shape, or form. And after thinking about it, and pondering it, going over it in my mind, I've come to this conclusion, that it doesn't matter why. I can't think of anyone that I've encountered in all my many years in the criminal justice system that has committed the kind of monstrous and the number of monstrous crimes that you have. All of these people have been suffering and will continue to suffer, but hopefully, as many of them said, they feel they're going to receive some peace, and I hope that you are able to leave here with some peace today. But it's not vengeance, it's justice, Mr. Franklin. And so, at this time, I will say that the defendant is not eligible for probation, and probation is denied. And so, Lonnie Franklin Jr., for the first-degree murder of Deborah Jackson as alleged in count 1 and the special circumstance of multiple murder, it is the judgment and sentence of this court that you shall suffer the death penalty. The total non-death sentence is life plus 25 years to life plus 14 years, all of that consecutive.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, I thought he was gonna do an outro. Well, that was the infamous case of Lonnie Franklin Jr. The person, or what's his name? The Grim Sleeper, I mean. That's just crazy. He killed 10 people, and then how many was it? It was like 5. I think it was 5 victims that got away. That shared their story at the 24-minute mark. It's so sad that people could do this. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm glad that he got, you know what I'm talking about, no chance of probation. Like, he's gonna rot in there. And when was this? Let me just look up when he was sentenced. Oh, okay, so it says the Grim Sleeper is currently deceased. It says that right here. But you know what I'm saying? Like, at least he was caught. At least the victims' families, at least they know that the person who hurt their daughter had some justice served. Because look, he said 10 to 25 plus victims. That's crazy. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. And once again, thank y'all for 100 subscribers. I'll be coming out with more content. So comment what you want to see. Whether it be more GothBoi Prince, whether it be other channels that are true crime oriented, whether it be predator poachers, creep catchers, whether it be Courtney Elizabeth, whether it be Skeeter Jean. Just let me know what you want to see in the comments. So anyways, y'all have a good day.